Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode number 76, and we're going to call this episode Alan Goes to Rocklahoma. Before we get to that, though, we would like to pay our respects to Greg Allman. He passed away about a week ago, I think. I don't remember exactly what day it was. But our condolences to his family and his fellow musicians and bandmates. Either you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, like I said, love. No, I actually
sure.
love the Allman Brothers. Like I said, Whipping Post is my favorite song. I mean, that song there, when it comes on, it's all.
Is it your favorite song, or is it your favorite Allman Brothers song? It's
my favorite Allman Brothers, and that kind of genre of music. That's probably my favorite song, of the Southern classic rock or whatever you're going to call it. And like I said, there is a Kiss connection there too.
Tell us.
He was married to Cher. Or did they get married, or they
were married for like 2 weeks?
I think they were married, but not for very long.
And then Gene also, he dated Cher. So, and that was actually right. Did Dwayne?
That's a stretch,
not Dwayne,
dude.
No, but Greg was right after Gene or before Gene?
Don't know and don't care.
Yeah, don't know. Anyway.
Only Cher would know if she remembers.
They both dipped into the Cher pool, so there you go.
Anyway, I Know Angel's a great album. That's an album I had of Greg Allman's whenever he went solo, and I really liked it. That's one of my favorite albums, actually. I'm looking for it again. So I had it at one time and let it go, set it free, and I got to find it again. So
well, it had came over the internet here almost a month ago that he was in hospice or was in bad shape, and then his management said no, it's not. He's just taking time off, and like I said, it ended up being to where it was actually probably true at the same time. The first time that they come out with it. But anyway, like I said, he lived the life of a rock and roll star. No doubt. I mean, he had his years of being on the road, and I mean, they were on the road forever. So.
Yep.
Anyway,
that's the only life they know.
Exactly. Right. But anyway, great guy. Another legend gone.
Happens.
And now on to some more fun. Bill and Dennis each have a rant.
I'm going to rant very shortly.
Bill, why don't you go first, and then I'll finish
very
up.
Shortly, it's going to be very the whole. I'm not going to do it.
You're going to do it?
I'm not going to give her the time of day. I'm not going to do it.
Don't say the name. Just say these celebrities.
Just when a celebrity does something stupid, and everybody makes a big deal about it, gives them publicity, and it sometimes has a reverse effect. But I'm glad that today there was somebody that made a very stupid and ridiculous show of their character. And I believe that she's going to be unemployed for quite a while, and that's a good thing. And that's how it should be, because it doesn't happen to everybody. Some people can say stupid things and they just get by with it, and maybe this time she's not going to get by with saying something stupid.
Well, and in the last couple of years, we've seen quite a few, even rock stars, music stars have put their personal political opinions out there. And you know what? At some time, karma is going to catch up to you. You're going to be.
I think karma caught up and whipped their monkey ass.
Yeah,
karma was standing right there when it happened.
I made a post on a person's page, a former guest of ours today. She made a comment about something, and then it turned into be a political post where it got out of hand, and she had to actually delete it.
Yeah,
and I said, "Look, this happened to me last week. Same situation. I made a comment about something." Put a little meme up that I thought was kind of funny, and it turned into, and the whole point I made about the situation was, look, this is my Facebook page. I'll put whatever I want on here. Don't start getting on me for putting, if you don't like what I put on there, just
scroll, buddy.
Scroll. Anyway,
but
the stars who do this, karma will probably come back and kick them in the ass. Now, here's my rant. My wife, the other day, she's been mentioning for a long time that she wanted to see Ed Sheeran. And of course, you know that I went to some concerts with her. I've took her to see Amos Lee 3 times. She loves singer-songwriter type people. And I had no problem going to see that. So I was like, going, okay, he's going to be at Bridgestone for 2 nights down in Tennessee, down in Nashville. So of course you go to Ticketmaster. Well, those shows are sold out. Both of them are. I mean, 2 nights are completely sold out. I'm like, really? So we went to secondary market, and I was like, going, you know what? This is a special occasion. I'll pay. We've done this before. We did this for I think we got food tickets one time off the secondary market in Memphis and didn't actually pay a whole lot more than what it was normal. I mean, it was a little bit over the actual seat price, but it wasn't bad. Um, Insurance were double. I mean, it was basically, I guarantee you, people just basically bought up tickets as soon as it went on sale. There were just people that just bought the shit up to not even go. They were just going to put on secondary market.
Yeah, that's the
With
whole
that,
idea.
now, I don't have a problem with that. We end up getting 2 tickets through StubHub, paid basically the same as we paid on everybody else's site, basically double. And plus, there was maybe, I think it was $36 fee
You're
on top of
wow.
that. But StubHub, we went through a place originally it's called Ticket Network. That was the first thing. If you put in Ed Sheeran Bridgestone, it was the first site that came up on the Safari when you
So
pulled
they've
it up.
paid the most money to be on the top of the Google list.
So I found 2 tickets, same area, same within 2 rows of where we were at. Ticket prices were just a tad higher, but not much higher. And they said, okay, here is your price for your ticket. How would you like to pay for that? I went, PayPal. Went through PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Here's the price of your ticket. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And before the final button on PayPal, they then throw up the $130 service fee on top of double paid tickets. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, I was just kind of, it was a Sunday morning. We're just kind of scrolling through I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy. And I seen that small print. I'm like, holy shit! I stopped, backed out of it with the StubHub, bought these other tickets. Made sure that but whatever it is, Ticket Network, do not go through them. They will wait till the last second. They don't mention anything about the service fees. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
Was that $130 service fee total or per ticket?
That was total.
Okay. Not that that makes it any better. I was just
Yeah,
curious.
still, yeah.
But I had
Wow.
a $36 fee on 2 tickets through StubHub. That's mailing. What? Still, it's absorb. It's still they've got to make some money somehow. That's fine. But the thing that gets me is here are people that are bitching about the fact of, okay, we can't sell albums, we can't make any money because the record companies are screwing us, so we can't make any money. So we're basically giving our albums out. Now we're going to have to tour to make money. They're selling tickets for a price,
Bazillion dollars.
and then these other people are buying these tickets, selling them for double this. Then you got another person on top of that, these companies that are putting another service charge on top of that. That's almost as much as the original fucking ticket in the first place. It's
Do you remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah.
That's what that one dude did.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
got
love
your hookup, man. What do you
Yeah,
do?
and he goes, "Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na." He was selling cheap tickets. Cheap
That's exactly right.
Cheap tickets?
Cheap tickets.
He goes, and the guy goes, "You got any Earth, Wind, and Fire?" He goes, "Man, where were you last week?" "Oh, and I ate 15 pairs of those."
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, these secondary markets, it's just retarded. I mean, the thing is, if you want to go to one of these shows and you want to, but what happens at the end? Do these people, I guess, if they don't sell these tickets, are they just empty seats?
They're empty seats.
Wow.
But the thing is, like for Ed Sheeran, there won't be empty seats. Somebody will buy them. they'll wait till the last minute and drop the price on StubHub.
Right.
And we've done that. We've done that before. We've done that. The boys did that going to a football game in Indy. That they waited till Saturday night at like 9:00 before the game on Sunday and got decent seats really cheap.
How do you get those tickets up? Oh, I mean, they have to mail them to you.
No, the StubHub ones, they were electronically transferred.
Well, these here they're going to mail to me. They said because this ends until like October or something.
Yeah. You're fine. But no, they'll do a instant transfer.
So I should have probably waited till the last minute, but then again,
but you never know.
He sells out. It's one of those things we're just going to have to pay. I made fun of Alan here 2 weeks ago or a week ago about the
Elton John tickets.
The Elton John tickets. Well, dude, I just
Lisa said something. When Bruno Mars went on sale, she really wanted to go see Bruno Mars. She never really told me that.
Right.
And it's the same way. You can't get tickets that are
you're done at that point.
You're worth any. Yeah, you're just done.
Well, and here's the other thing too. And then not only do those prices jack up, so then we called down to Nashville to get
hotels are twice as much.
Because on a weekend with Ed Sheeran is sold out 2 nights. Mm-hmm. The motel that we usually go to, which is the Hutton, and it's usually $100, and I paid up to $200 for a night in that place. Okay, but it's usually $180, $160 for a suite. That night there, it was a 2-night minimum. And I was like, oh, that's fine. We can come down on Friday night. The Friday night was $590. The Saturday night was $480. It was going to be $1,200 for 2 nights. I'm like, I don't think so.
Hey, there's a really good hotel out by the Opryland Hotel called the Opry Inn.
Yeah.
And it's $109 a night.
Well, if you got... If you're going to be going to the podcast,
Rock and Pod Expo in August.
But no, actually, I called out to Opryland, and to get a regular room is $309, $319 for or $339 for a atrium view.
Wow.
So
great.
Yeah, they're just raping people. Anyway, so let's rape again. Ed Sheeran, you bastard.
Not Ed's fault.
No, it's not Ed. And the thing is, Ed's not making any of this money. Ed made whatever it was for his original ticket price.
Right.
It's everybody else on his back making a ton of shit, Yeah. So anyway, that's my rant. Anyway.
That's right. He doesn't like the shape. He didn't like the shape of you anyway.
Alan, you went Alan, you went somewhere this week and you got something to talk about.
I did?
No. Or last week.
It was last week. Thursday, my friend Mike and I, we're all going to kick back while Alan talks. Mm-hmm.
No.
Thursday, my friend Mike and I jumped in the van and pulled a camper to Pryor, Oklahoma for the annual Rocklahoma Memorial Day Weekend Festival. And for the most part, it was awesome. Usually in the past when we've gone, we've gotten the general admission ticket and camped in the general admission campground. And what sucks about that is, you got to go stand in line like an hour and a half before the gates open and haul balls to get the spot you want. So this year I decided that I was going VIP, whether Mike went or not, but we both decided to do the VIP thing. And it was a little bit more expensive, but it was all inclusive.
How much more expensive was it?
I think with us splitting the price of the campground, we each paid about $467. It was like $467.50 or something.
Wow, for 3 days?
But for 3 days, what you get is you get your assigned seat in the VIP seating. You get,
which is what? How far away was VIP seating?
Well, it's wherever the benches are. If you pull up the Rocklahoma website and see the layout, anywhere that there's a bench, that's VIP seating.
But then they're
standing behind that.
Basically, VIP seating is assigned seating. Is all that is.
Right.
Okay.
But you get access to the hospitality tent, which is all you can eat food, all you can eat Coke products, or all you can drink Coke products. It's sponsored by Budweiser, so all the Bud or Bud Light you can drink.
Oh,
Which,
that's $400 right there.
yeah,
See, Bill don't like it. How was the food though? Was it
the
decent
food
food?
was really good because they had some company come in and cater it.
So they
You
do
know,
breakfast, lunch,
they
and
do
dinner.
they do on Friday they open the food up at 4 p.m. and then
Okay.
on Saturday and Sunday it opens at noon. So they basically serve lunch
Lunch
and dinner.
and dinner. Okay.
So breakfast is on your own. That's not bad, though.
Breakfast is pretty much on your own.
Cool.
That's
But
not a bad price
but
though,
the
dude.
thing
for
is most people that go there stay up until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning drinking anyway. So by the time they wake up, it's past noon anyway. So breakfast is not that big of a deal for them.
right.
But yeah, the food was pretty good. The all-you-can-drink beer was about as appealing to me as all-you-can-drink water. Yeah, and I drank more water actually because I keep myself hydrated during the day. I waited until the evening and drank, a few beers each night. I never even really got a buzz off of it. It's Bud Light. How many of those do you gotta? How many of those you gotta drink to get a buzz anyway? But
I wouldn't have a clue.
But
I don't have that many fingers.
No idea.
my favorite thing about the VIP was the fact that I had an assigned seat. So if I didn't want to see the band that Mike was wanting to see, I could go to the the River Spirit Casino stage on one side, or I could go to the D&B processing stage on the other side, because they had bands on each side playing when the main stage wasn't going.
And did they have assigned seats there too?
No, the side stages, that's all general.
That's free
admission.
for all.
That's free
Okay.
for all.
Okay, cool.
But
And you said earlier
it
too,
was
though,
hold on
that
a second before I lose my train of thought.
oh, go ahead.
It was nice to be able to. Well, I don't like the Pretty Reckless, so I'm going to go sit in the hospitality tent under the air conditioning. So I didn't have to stay outside for 7 or 8 hours and cook in the sun the whole time. Right. This time I'm medium rare instead of medium well. So what was your question, Dennis?
No, so and you were talking to me, or I was texting you while you were out there. You said that none of the stages overlap each other, too, though. The bands, the side stages don't blast out.
When somebody's playing on the main stage, they're tearing down the bands that played on the side stages.
Right.
And then just the opposite. The side stages both played at the same time. So you had
they actually do
you
then.
had to
Okay,
decide, this band's playing at 2:00 and this band's playing at 2:00. So
that's what I want.
You have to figure out which one, if you even want to see any of them.
Right.
Because some of those bands I'd never heard of.
But when
how's that laid out?
When the main stage is going, that there's nobody else playing though, right?
The seat that I got was the very back row, almost dead center. Which worked out really good. It was a great seat. Very few people get in your way.
Right.
But I would say each stage was probably 500 feet in each direction, or maybe 1,000 feet.
So they were in opposite directions.
Yeah, one was to the left of the stage, and one was to the right of the stage. They're far enough away that when one's playing, you can't hear the other one.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Because
is this just in a field, like in a big
pretty much
grassy field? I mean,
but
so if it rains, it could be turned into a mud hole or not? That's what I'm asking.
No, it's a well kept field. The main stage is a huge building. I mean, it's built for it is. I mean,
so it's there all.
It's built like an arena. It's there all the time. It's got this huge garage door, and that they close it up when it's not in use.
Gotcha.
But the side stages are stages that are built on site. The week of the event.
Wow.
So they probably made it to where the drainage is good, where if it does rain, you're not going to get a big ass mud hole kind of situation.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
It isn't like Woodstock or anything like that.
Yeah, that could be a mess. Yeah.
So do they bring beer trucks in, or do they have it piped in?
Did
you see that?
They bring great big ass kegs.
No, like Wacken, the Wacken Fest over in Europe. Okay, Wacken. You're fucking.
It's Wacken,
you're
bitch.
fucking killing me. Anyway, they are actually right now digging for pipe. They're putting pipe in. They're gonna bring the beer in through a pipe.
Well, they might as well.
in the
Come
ground.
from-
They're not going to ship it any. I mean, they're not going to bring it in a truck. It's going to come
be
pumped
easier.
in.
Actually, it'd probably be
Yeah.
easier and over
It's
time
pretty
cheaper
interesting.
to do that. Yeah.
Logistically, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They had it was on CNN or something the other day. They were talking
Yeah.
about it. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
All
That's
right.
pretty cool.
I should have
So,
called it the right
tell me
thing.
what. Tell me what
Move.
Friday night. Give us a rundown on Friday. What you saw.
Friday night, I stuck with the main stage. The only band that was on a side stage that I had even any inclination to see would have been Fozzy. But by the time it came for them to roll around, I needed a nap. So the first band that played was Rival Sons, and I had never heard them before, other than
They're pretty good.
we listened to one of their CDs on the way, and they were really good live. You know, their singer has a very unique voice, and I think that made them stand out from the crowd. You know, when I say stand out from the crowd, the crowd of today's musicians, because so
Sure.
much of them sound so much alike. But I'm not sure who were on the side stages because I don't remember the names of them. There were no one that I'd heard of, nothing that sounded interesting to me.
Gotcha.
The second band on the Bud Light, the main stage was called the Bud Light stage, which of course the
Gotcha.
event is sponsored by Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, I guess. So, the second band that came out was Slaughter. The best part about the Slaughter show, it was Mark Slaughter, Dana Strum, and two other guys. If you look on my Facebook page, my friend Chris posted a link to Slaughter's current drummer. That dude is jacked up on sugar from when he was a kid, I think. I don't think he ever came down off of a sugar high. Because that dude was up and down and over here and over there and stick spinning and bouncing sticks up in the air. And he was a really good drummer, but, I mean, he is definitely a showman. And I can't see... I was kind of surprised that, you know, usually when you've got somebody that's been around for a long time like Slaughter, you know, I'm the main focus of this band. You need to sit back here and play the drums, and, you know, I'm the spectacle here, not you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was really kind of surprised to see a hired gun that was that animated. But
Maybe that's what he was. Maybe that's what he's looking for.
you know,
though. Give him
and that
some-
could
give
be
him some
because
of that,
it kind of detracts
you,
from
it got your notice. It noticed, you know.
right. But I think maybe that helps kind of detract from some of the other.
Right.
What's the term that I'm looking for? Some of the other things that lack during the show.
Shortcomings.
Shortcomings.
How's Mark's?
That's
Well, how's Mark's voice? Does it sound good?
sometimes.
Okay. Well, but there again, he's got 20 something years
Yeah.
later. I mean, and
But-
his voice was so high, and originally, I don't expect him to get that
Yeah,
high.
well, he was getting that high. But the
Right.
thing is there were times that he was screaming those notes when
Right.
he really didn't need to. You know,
Right.
and of course, they're his songs. He wrote them. He can sing them how he wants. But that's not
Right.
how they were recorded. And a lot of
Well,
times
maybe
I
he
think
doesn't
he was
wanna do a
screaming just
Don.
because what?
Maybe he doesn't want to do a Don. Maybe he don't want to go low. Maybe he just wants to keep.
Well,
trying.
I don't even mean that. I mean, he was screaming in spots in a song that he
Where he
didn't
shouldn't
scream on
have.
the
Okay.
recording. You know,
I
that's
got
what
you.
I'm getting at.
Got you.
You know, but I told Mike that I thought the reason that he might be screaming like that is because people know him for, you know, that's kind of a signature sound of his.
Yeah.
True.
So maybe that's why he kept doing it.
All right.
But
Always like Slaughter.
yeah, so I mean they
Yeah,
were
I like
good, and all of the songs that they played I knew except for one. You know, that was probably
How long did they play? Half hour?
maybe 40 minutes. It wasn't very
Yeah.
long at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Rival Sons got a half an hour. Slaughter might have got 40 minutes.
Really? That's slow. That's
Yeah.
That's okay. Cool.
Now, when Slaughter got done, of course, between both of those bands, I went to the hospitality tent and drank me some water or drank a soda or whatever. When it came time for the Pretty Reckless, I already knew that I did not want to see them. But I came out long enough to film about a 30-second clip because I made video clips of all the bands, and I'm going to get those uploaded to YouTube in the next couple of days. So watch our
Cool.
YouTube page, people. If you're not subscribed, go to agesofrock.com. subscribe to that YouTube page, and you'll get notification when I get those videos up.
There you go.
All right. But after I got my 30-second video clip of the Pretty Reckless, the phone in my battery, or the battery in my phone was about dead, so I thought it's a great opportunity. I went and got in my van and turned the engine on, cracked the window, charged it up, and kicked my seat back and took about a 2-hour nap. So I didn't see the Pretty Reckless, and I didn't see Fozzy. But I came back in time to see one of Bill's favorite bands, Skillet.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I saw them the last time. Actually, I saw Skillet, Rat, and who was the other one? Jackal. I saw all three of those at both of the last two Rocklahomas that I've been to. Skillet was just as good this time as they were last time, and their drummer cracks me up.
She's awesome, man.
She beats them drums.
She is awesome.
I think she's going to have the same problem that Slayer's singer has when she gets older from banging her head so much it's going to hurt her neck.
Yeah, I don't know. She's crazy.
She's an
she's got a really
drummer,
good voice too.
And
she sings really well.
That's what I was getting ready to say. When she sang the backing vocals on,
yep,
she tore that up. There was a couple of times that her drum tech played drums while she was out singing lead with the lead singer and bass player. Yeah, but
they're married, right? The lead singer, the guy, the lead singer and the guitarist, they're married
to each other. No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that, but that's kind of cool.
They are. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But speaking of the guitar player, cool. She was really good too.
Yeah, very good. They're very talented. I like that band. I think they're really good.
Now,
did they have a lot of pyro and stuff like that? Did they do any of that stuff?
They didn't do any pyro, but they had a light show. One thing that they did do that caught my eye, and apparently I was the only one that caught it because I took a picture of the stage and sent it to you guys. I sent it to somebody else. It looked like they had the stair steps for the Love Gun stage, and then the guitar player and the cello player got up there, and the stages, they went up in the air, and then they kind of moved up and down like that. And I was like, man, that's Love Gun right there. Come on. Am I the only one that sees this? But I was really
my son
surprised.
My son Alex worked for them at they were at a Winter Jam. They were the lead at a Winter Jam a couple years ago, and Alex worked their merch booth. So for working the merch booth during the show, he ended up getting a free T-shirt, and the cellist autographed it for him and stuff like that. So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I watched the show though. I didn't really care to work the merch booth. I wanted to watch the show.
That is cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. Then after Skillet, the next band on the Bud Light stage was 3 Days Grace. And
I like them too.
They were. Shut up, Dennis.
Yeah. No, I've seen them. I've seen them a couple times. I just think that they got a lot of backup, a lot of I don't want to go into it. They got a lot of
backing tracks. They had some backing synth. I don't know if somebody was backstage playing synth or if they were playing the backing tracks. But you could hear synth when nobody was on stage, and there were a couple. And
there's multiple guitars where they're not guitars. So yeah.
There are multiple bands that are like that. But I think 3 Days Grace has their two big radio hits, and those were really the only two songs I know. And those are the clips you'll find in my video.
Cool.
And
I like to hear them.
And you will be able to tell when you look at my video which songs that I knew. Because like Slaughter, I did a couple of theirs. 3 Days Grace, I did a couple of theirs. The bands I didn't know all got one 30-second clip apiece.
There you go.
And Def Leppard actually has their own video clip, and we also have I recorded the closing song in its entirety. So
did you know? So on that, I tell you what, I did watch that thing that you said today. The photograph.
Yeah.
It's the first of it's fucked up. They drummed out wrong. I mean, they actually started. Man. Well, there again. It's all sequenced, and they had to reset it.
Def Leppard is sequenced, and if you pay attention, and it's what I told Mike. I'm like, now you tell me how this drummer does this. He's got one arm, and there's a ride cymbal and a cowbell going at the same time.
It started out. It's like it started out, and then all of a sudden it went back to the normal again. I'm like, oh, they reset that real quick. Somebody was on the key back there, but yeah, they reset it.
But
I saw the greatest meme this week. Cookie Monster said that the drummer for Def
who
Leppard
did
gave
you
him a
get that
cookie
from?
one time. That was from you, probably.
Yes.
It was funny. I can love that shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway,
So you were to Skillet.
Yeah.
No,
we're to
I
Def
done
Leppard.
did Skillet and 3 Days Grace, and I was on Def
Yeah.
Leppard.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So Def Leppard was the first night.
Def Leppard. I was surprised. Def Leppard closed the first night.
You know, when the video you posted, I saw that's exactly the same setup and video stuff that I saw 3 years ago.
Well,
exactly
hold
the
on
same.
a
You think that they've
second.
changed it?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hey, Bill, I'm gonna call you Dennis.
Alan's never talked this long. We don't know what to do. He
Bored,
said
man.
more. He has said more in this episode than he said in the last 76
Okay,
episodes.
go. I won't say anything else.
I'm going mute. Look at me. I'm muting.
Sure. But Def Leppard, like Bill said, it's the same set list that it was when Bill saw them 3 years ago, and it's the same set list when I saw them 5 years ago open
Guys,
for Kiss.
Charlie Horse. Sorry.
Charlie's a whore. What?
Charlie,
It's like an old man.
he pulled a hamstring sitting in an old wooden chair.
Oh my gosh! The only difference between the set list that you saw 3 years ago and what I posted is they played 2 new songs, and I didn't record 30-second clips of those. That was another thing that I recorded
played new
30-second clips of songs that I knew. And I know somebody's going to watch the video and they're going to bitch because, well, you should have got this song. Well, go to the show and record it yourself next time.
Yeah, and when they played I think 1 or 2 new songs when I saw them too, and I was like, who cares?
But I was glad actually that they did the cover of David Essex Rock On, because that's really the only time that Rick Savage gets a chance to show that he can actually play bass other than eighth notes.
Who played guitar?
Vivian
Phil
Campbell.
was there. Who was? Oh, was
Vivian
Vivian
Campbell was there. Yeah.
Back? Oh,
Yeah,
good,
he's back.
good.
He's back for now, and hopefully he's back to stay.
Good,
I really hope that his health issues are cleared up.
When I saw him 3 years ago, he was back for just a short time, and then he had to take off again. So I think we saw him on like probably the 3rd or 4th show out of about 7.
Yeah.
But he looked really good. He played phenomenally.
He looked good Friday night too.
Good.
And
That's great.
his hair has grown back really well, and it was short, but it was thick. Not a problem that some of us have. Anyway, but that was Friday was, for the most part, I thought it was a really good day. Nothing stood out other than the fact that I'm not a Pretty Reckless fan, so that was one I actually didn't care if I saw or not. So
I don't think they're too bad. I like the one song for sure.
We actually played a song by them. We just started playing it 3 weeks ago. Take Me Down.
I'm trying to get what the single is.
It's Take Me Down. That's the big hit they got out now.
Yeah, but that's the one they had out before that. Heaven knows.
So
Okay. Anyway,
let's move on to the disappointing day of Rocklahoma.
oh yeah, I heard about this.
Saturday. And we knew that from Tuesday on that there was going to be a strong possibility of severe weather
In Oklahoma?
in May. Who'd have thunk it?
When is that?
But,
Tornado Alley?
actually,
Go
of all of
figure.
the times that we've gone to Oklahoma and gone to that festival, that's the first time we've experienced bad weather.
Pretty interesting.
So,
That's pretty cool.
and that's what I
Yeah, I
told
used to-
Mike. I'm like, you can't keep coming to this and get good weather every year.
No.
You're not going to hit a home run every time you walk up to the plate.
No.
So
Well, unless you're like Paul Rodriguez.
it was our turn to strike out and go
Not
home.
Paul Rodriguez. Rod. God, I'm an idiot.
I don't even know who that
I'm
is.
sorry.
I don't
Forget
even know. I'm not even.
I just
That's one of
blew
those
that
I'm not a-
baseball guys.
See, this went like that because I'm a sports guy.
I'm an idiot.
Okay, I thought you
Maybe.
guys were going to shut up while I talked.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna mute again. Here we go. I'm going back to mute.
Oh my gosh. So Saturday, there was some weird band called Starset. You know, at first when we saw the stage, we thought it was going to be a DJ because where the lead singer stood, it looked like the big DJ table and all of that stuff. Well, then a guy comes out in like a robot suit, kind of like the Daft Punk fellas, with a bass guitar, and then a guy with a guitar comes out on the other side of the stage with the same getup, and then a guy shows up behind the singer, which is encased in a great big glass box. The drums and everything were back there, and you could hardly see it because the sun was reflecting on it. But the drummer also had the same outfit on. So, you know, it was weird. There wasn't anything in that band that I cared much for. And at one point he talked about how technology was ruining the world and how he was going to be launching a website soon about how nobody's paying attention to you, Dennis. But talking about how
I'm just thinking
technology was ruining everything.
Evil. He's like Dr. Evil.
That's because I got this pretty head.
Soon I'm going to have this website and everything's going
Well, that's kind of the way that guy was. He did okay for a while, and then he started talking, and it got weird. You know, so when their set couldn't be done soon enough. Well, after their set was over, our good friends in the band Fuel showed up, which coincidentally, Fuel used some of my equipment this past Thursday, a week ago today, or a week ago tomorrow, at Marina Point here in Evansville. So I got paid for Fuel to use my stuff while I was on my way to Oklahoma. But Fuel did their set. They did their, Shimmer and Hemorrhage in My Hand, the only two songs of theirs that I really knew. So that's the video clips I got from that. I did get a video clip of Starset. Fuel was pretty good, other than I didn't know any of their songs. But Fuel was good. After they were done, I went to the hospitality tent again. And then Zach Sabbath come on. It started raining. After 3 songs, they evacuated the venue. And it was raining, but the sun was out. There were a few clouds. So we thought it was going to rain, and then everything was going to go away. But no, 3 songs in, they evacuated the venue, told everybody to go sit in their car. And then it rained some more, and it rained some more, and it rained some more. And then the thunder clouds come rolling in. And then the wall clouds come rolling in, and we got a tornado watch. So there's nothing quite as fun as sitting in the middle of a field in Oklahoma looking to see if you're going to get killed by a tornado.
So what bands were canceled that night then after Zach Sabbath?
Well, of the bands that I wanted to see on the main stage,
right,
Zach Sabbath's set got cut. The Cult didn't get to play. Stone Sour didn't get to play. Live didn't get to play. And on the River Spirit Casino stage, I wanted to see Diamond Head and Suicidal Tendencies.
Now, did any of those bands get a chance to play the next day, or
No.
they just said?
And there had been a rumor swirling around that some of those bands actually had time to stick around and play on Sunday night, but that didn't happen on a single stage.
All right, gotcha.
So I was,
how could that happen?
Do what?
I mean, how could that happen? That means everybody has to give up some time, right?
Well, it would either mean everybody gives up time or everybody plays, or they extend the show later in the night.
Yeah.
And with it being out in the middle of a field,
yeah,
in a non-residential area, I don't know what the noise ordinance for that would have been.
You're fucking some cows up.
It would have been the money that would have had to pay people to stay longer.
Yeah, I don't know how they would have done that. It would have been kind of cool, depending on what bands that got to stick around.
Bill said the venue people, not the bands, but the people who were running the place would have had to been paid extra.
Oh yeah, and with them being union and everything.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it'd have been a fucking mess. So it was probably a good thought, but it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
that'd have been cool, but
so,
you never know.
Anyway,
I was disappointed that I didn't get to see the Cult or Diamond Head or Suicidal Tendencies or live. I didn't care if I got to see Stone Sour or not. That's another one of those bands that I would have stuck around and got 30 seconds worth of video for the montage or the medley or whatever, and then I would have went to the hospitality tent and got a Coke
You
and
would have stayed long. You would have stayed longer.
maybe,
You'd
and
liked it.
maybe I would
I
have
like
because
Stones.
some of
I
those,
honestly, because that's what I was giving you shit about the other day.
yeah,
I think if you actually would have sit and listened to him and listened to Corey sing other than something from Slipknot, you would have liked it.
right.
Because Stone
Well, you
Sour
know,
actually
and
has some good tunes.
that's the
It
same
really
thing
does.
with bands like Rival Son and some of those other bands, Skillet. I'm not really fans of those bands so much, but I enjoyed the show, so I stuck around and watched it.
And like I said, it's been one of those ones where I would have been surprised if you would have left because I think if they would have played, you would have liked it. And I wish you would have because, like I said, I think it would have been kind of cool. But anyway, that's
But
just
now
the way it
we'll
is.
never know.
We'll
That's
never
right.
know.
Don't have to worry about it.
So now we move on to Sunday. This was another
Right.
one of those days where there was only one band on a side stage that I wanted to see, and the rest of them were all main stage bands. I had not seen Blackstone Cherry, but I know that they're from
Oh, they're good.
they are from
Louisville.
very
Yeah.
close. They're from
Hazard.
Hazard.
Illinois.
They're
No,
from Kentucky.
Oh, Hazard,
Yeah.
Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah.
But my God, those dudes were good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, and that singer's got some pipes on him. And again, like Rival Sons, his voice has a unique sound to it, so that makes him stand out. I think.
Yeah.
So I'd like to
I
see
saw
those.
them open.
I'd like to see those guys come back to Rocklahoma and be a little further to the end or closer to the end of the night rather than opening the show. But
They play in Southern Illinois, Indiana all the time, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're down here all the time.
I
So
know.
next time they're around here, we'll have to catch them.
yeah,
I saw them open for. I think they opened. I saw them twice, and I think at Louisville. They always have free concerts at Louisville at Kentucky State Fair in August, and I saw them twice. And the first time was the first time that they appeared, not in a bar because they were talking about it in Louisville, and it was at I think they opened for Saliva, and they were really good. And there were people. It was funny because we were trying to get closer seats, and we could only get within like the first 8 rows because their family were all in the first. I mean, I'm not kidding. Their families were all in the first 8 rows, and it was great. And then when they got done, they all got up and left.
So and they're from Hazard. So I'm telling
Yeah,
you
they're
what,
from
them
Hazard.
families are tight. They're
There
like
were a lot of them.
They're like the Hatfields and McCoys down there. I
There
used
were
to
a lot
work
of them,
out-
and they were really good. I went the next day and bought that CD, the
They were
very
probably-
first CD.
actually,
It was really
probably one
good.
of
I
the-
liked them.
Probably one of their families got you to the side with a gun and said, "Buy this CD." I'm
No,
telling
then I
you
saw
what,
them again. I saw them again later, and I think they opened again, and I think it was for oh man, yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't 3 Days Grace, but it's a band like that. They had Bad Girlfriend, and
that's Theory of
there's
a
a
Dead
song
Man.
that was out. Yeah, Theory of a Dead Man. Yeah, so they opened for them, I think, the second time I saw them. But they were really good. That lead singer was really good, and that's that kind of southern rock, but more rock stuff. I like them.
Yeah,
They're
they
pretty
were
good.
very good.
Yeah. Very good.
So next
All
up on the main stage, Buck Cherry. They got boned. They got boned hard. I think there's a sound guy who is now unemployed. Because when they started their first song, Josh's vocals came in and went right back out. And through almost the entire first song, you could see him trying to sing. And I put a little clip of that up in the medley as well. But
Cool.
finally the guitar player got pissed off, walked up to his mic and yelled as loud as he could, "Vocals center stage!" And all of a sudden, here's the dude singing again. So I'm pretty sure the sound guy, if he didn't lose his job, he's probably running wire for a while. But, their set, they played okay. Their set was, it is what it is. It's Buck Cherry. And while they were doing their final song, they were doing Crazy Bitch. Got to the point near the end of the song where he introduces the guitar player, and he introduces the bass player, and then he introduces the drummer, and power outage, regional power outage. Now at first, I'm like, and it's funny. We'll get to the what caused it in a second, but the power went out, And a guy come up with a megaphone, and you couldn't hardly hear him. But a girl next to me, she's like, "Oh, somebody must have tripped over a cord," and I'm like, "You don't plug in that much electricity into one cord." I said, "There's either a breaker that has been, a breaker box that's down
transformer or
in
some
that
kind of
building
shit.
or something."
Yeah.
And then the guy got back on the megaphone and he said, there's power gone from the whole site, so all 3 stages dead. They can't serve anything but beer anymore because the drink machines, the drink machines were all powered electrically. So
See,
they couldn't even serve water because those were running the drink machines as well. So
Can they serve tequila?
No, they didn't serve any hard liquor at all.
You have to bring your own.
I ain't going.
And you can't bring.
No,
it,
you can bring your.
You can't bring it on site. You can't bring it into the venue.
You can bring it in your camp.
You can bring it into your camp.
Well, I'm
but
not
you
running
can't
all
bring
the way
it
back
into
to
the
the
venue.
campsite,
You can
dude.
sneak it into your. You can't. I mean, there's like these little things you can.
Get off of that. And
Yeah.
people sneak this, and they were sneaking some other stuff in there because I kept smelling of these funny smells.
That's what I'm saying, Bill. We can get you some. We can get you some tequila. You're going next year. We're all gonna go. Bitch.
Tequila.
So, this lady, I said, tripping over one cord isn't going to cut all the power. There's a bigger issue going on here.
Right.
So, she's like, "Well, I don't know what it could possibly be." And then the guy come on the megaphone and he said that there's a regional outage. So somebody made some smart aleck stupid comment, which is basically the equivalent of somebody must have tripped over a cord. And I says, "No, I have a transformer in my backyard, and about once every 2 years, our neighborhood loses power because there's either a snake up in there or there's a squirrel."
Mm.
And when the power came back on, the guy got on the microphone and he said, "Well, a bird landed on a transformer and he fried himself."
Yeah.
And then somebody made the comment that he sacrificed himself because he was tired of hearing about Terry.
Was that what was it? Daylight out still then?
It was still daylight out.
Oh, that's
So how long was the outage then?
The power was out for about an hour.
Wow.
But that pushed everything back further than an hour.
So did you miss anything, or did they just push
No,
everything
they
back?
picked up where they left off. Well, Buck Cherry didn't get to finish the last 2 minutes of their song. But
So you were sad about that. So okay.
But
Nothing else but here.
while the power was out, people complain. They were complaining about the weather. You can't control the weather. Complaining about the power outage. You can't control nature. Somebody was walking around, "This is the worst ever. This is Rocklahoma 2017. I thought that was funny, but it was really uncalled for because it wasn't any. I mean, it was beyond the control of the event promoters or anything like that. But I bet when that power went out, the promoters were shitting bricks.
I'll
It
guarantee
had some bad luck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once power,
So it wasn't the Christmas Vacation movie where he walked in and he'd been plugging the wrong one in and flicking the wrong switch in the garage.
Here's
all those wires running into that.
Here's
one
a quick
socket.
question, and I know nobody has this answer, but I'm curious to what you think.
We have an answer.
For the bands that didn't get to play the Saturday night after the storm,
They
still got paid.
still got paid.
I will
Okay,
guarantee you they still got paid.
There you go. All right.
For nobody that has the
Continue on.
answer, two people have the
Continue on.
answer.
Continue on.
Yeah. I guarantee you they had a guarantee.
Yeah, they did.
Go ahead. Yeah,
It's a
fine.
guaranteed guarantee. Yeah.
Hey,
Go
Dennis,
down.
if you
I'm
have a
going to
gig,
mute again. I'm going to mute back
Yeah.
here. What?
if you have a gig and it rains and you've taken your shit there and you're set up, do you get paid?
No. If you're at a specific bar here in Evansville who has the biggest patio in the tri-state, I won't mention the name or the asshole who runs the place, but if you set up and you don't play, you get a free pizza.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
That's why I don't fucking play there. And then and on top of that, having the biggest patio and the thing, you think that he would be paying premium prices, but he wants to pay like $100 less than what I make in a small bar in Newburgh. So I told the guy to go fuck himself. So anyway, back to it, Al.
Oh yeah, now I know which venue you're talking about. I had to think about it for a minute.
It took you that long to figure that out?
Well, there's a couple of places that have a good sized patio that have
All right.
live music, and the one that I was
Well,
thinking of, I'm like, no,
don't even go there. I don't want to. Don't
I'm
want
not
to.
mentioning any names.
Well, I'm already on his fuck list because I basically called him out and told him, I said, you're fucking raping people, and don't ever call me again for a gig because
Now I
ain't-
really know who
I-
you're talking about.
yeah, you know. Who I'm
So
talking
anyway,
about.
moving along here. After the power came back on, Rat was next up. I saw Rat 3 years ago. I didn't see what you did.
I didn't either. But just a rat was funny. Is that what you're laughing about?
You gotta look at your phone.
What? What?
You guys need to check your phone real quick.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
I'm
You're
going to keep
about
talking.
Rat.
All right. I can't even find it now.
Are you serious, you motherfuckers?
Oh,
We'll post that on the
So we're
thing.
getting, oh, here. So we're getting
Well, here we
about
go.
Rat, and there's
Mickey,
Mickey D sitting right
Mickey D.
there.
that's Mickey Mouse.
I have my
That's
I
Mickey
have
Mouse.
my
Oh, Mickey Dennis.
electronic
I get it.
my electronic my electronic drums.
Sorry,
I was actually
totally
playing
correct
them.
that.
How did I get to that point? I guess when I was there we go.
You're
I hunkered down like that. Okay, so everybody who didn't get that picture, that's what they're laughing about. Is that right? Have I got it about right?
That's
funny. I
close
look
enough.
over- Alan just talking away. I'm trying to be quiet. I look over and just bust out laughing. 'cause
I got to
there's
turn that shit around.
Mickey D sitting over there.
Oh, my
This
gosh.
is
All right,
getting long. Let's get
So
over.
speaking
All right,
of Rat,
let's underail this train.
Here, I'm gonna mute.
Yeah, you've said that like 12 times. So Rat comes out on stage. I saw Rat at Rocklahoma 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was expecting a train wreck, and Rat put on a pretty good show. This year, I didn't know what to expect, and I'm glad my expectations weren't that high because Piercy's voice he's struggling with his vocals again.
Told you. I got my shit back because I knew that was going to happen. I was going to ask you.
But
the music was good,
the
right?
drummer was not Bobby Blotzer. I think
No.
the guy that was drumming for him is the old White Lion drummer. But I'm
Yes,
not,
that's it.
yeah,
It is.
I thought that name sounded familiar. But I mean, overall, it was even musically. There were some times that maybe somebody's guitar was out of tune. I noticed Carlos kept going back and fiddling with his guitar a lot. But you know how they do the dual lead vocal or the dual lead guitar solo. Sometimes that just sounded bad. You know.
See, one was the one that sounded to me. The bass sounded off. The last times I heard, like from M3, that's when I thought he was off. But it can happen, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's live. Shit like that happens, and
It's an outside gig.
There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You're at the mercy of your stage hands and your guitar techs.
the crew,
and not the Motley one.
not the Motley Run.
Rat was followed up by my good friend Jesse James Dupree and Jackal. I also saw them at the last show. The funny story about that. His shtick this time was completely different than it was last time. You know, every time I see him, he's got a different stage show for all of the talking that he does. But he wasn't as entertaining to me this time as he was last time I saw him. Musically, they were still great. You know, he played his guitar well. He sang well. The band was tight. During the lumberjack, you know, he gets a chainsaw out and
Chainsaw jokes get old after a while, don't they?
Yeah, but he didn't really do any chainsaw jokes. He did, however, have Eddie Trunk, who hosted, as always, Rocklahoma.
Did he cut him in half with a fucking chainsaw?
No, he let Eddie Trunk have the chainsaw.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but he had Eddie cut the bar stool, and you know, his I guess he's got a chainsaw tech because that guy was over there trying to keep somebody from getting cut, and Jesse kept pushing him away. You know? So Eddie's here trying to operate this chainsaw, and he's not doing a very good job. He finally gets cut through it, and he gives the chainsaw to the tech. Then Jesse lights the bar stool on fire, picks it up and hands it to Eddie and tells him to smash it. And Eddie got some pent-up rage. I think he was imagining Gene and Paul's face on the table for letting Eric and Tommy be in it. But he beat the shit out of that bar stool. Parts were flying everywhere. And the look on his face, he was intent in that. Man, that was funny as hell.
That dude's something else.
Eddie Trunk. Yeah, I don't know how to take him.
The thing is, sometimes he comes off. Well, he is a pompous ass. Sometimes he comes off as a really nice guy. Sometimes he comes off as a pompous ass. But, he's always worked in the music industry since he was a teenager, and he's always been in the right place at the right time. And he has a damn good following. So he's doing something right.
Yeah, he is.
He actually worked for Megaforce Records, which was going to be the one. That was a record company who was going to hire us or sign us at one point.
Yeah.
And then the thing was too. I called his show one time on Sirius, and he was actually really nice, and he talked to me and blah blah blah. But of course, it's all about him. You give him a question and blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden
he drops names real bad.
It's like
So, name dropper.
Yeah. Fuck him. Yeah.
So,
Eddie, you want to be on our show?
Sometime
I had to say it one time.
Backstage on Sunday, I don't know if Jesse James Dupree drank the lead singer from Seether's Coke or inflicted booger on him or poked him in the eye or whatever, but there was some bad blood between those two dudes.
Really?
Now Jesse come out, did his thing, and did his show, and then was done. The Seether guy,
he's depressed
Stayed,
anyway. Fuck him.
I stayed.
Fuck him.
Shut up, Dennis.
I don't like it.
I stayed for the first 2 songs of Seether. Then I got 30 seconds of that, and I went over on the side stage to the D&D processing stage.
You almost killed yourself, didn't you?
No.
You almost feel
I just didn't like it. But the whole time he was on stage, when he was not singing, he was taking pot shots at Jackal, and specifically at Jesse James Dupree. So something must have happened earlier in the day backstage.
Well, they're going to be seeing each other again, right? Because they're.
I'm sure of it if they're all doing those festivals.
They're all doing the festivals.
But
that'll end up in a fist fight
I'm sure that
he's kind of a dick.
Jesse being Jesse, he said something offhanded, cracking a joke or something, and it pissed that dude off.
He's a fucking douche.
Yeah.
You want to come on our show, douche? I don't care. I don't even know his name.
But I went over to the D&B processing stage because after the Rat set was over, I interviewed our good friend Kenny Wilkerson.
There you go.
Player for Nova Rex. And
Who's not a douche.
Who is not a douche.
Yeah, exactly.
But I interviewed Kenny Wilkerson and Eddie Cruz from Nova Rex, and it was just a quick 5-minute interview, and I just asked them, talk about your new album, talk about touring with festivals and things like that. But Nova Rex played after Seether was done, and I went over to the D&B processing stage, and I got front row on that and watched their show, and those dudes are tight. Cool. I think their guitar player probably hasn't been in the band for 32 years, but the other 3 guys I think are all original members. And I mean, they have a stage show. They have their in between song banter.
Their shtick.
It's kind of a shtick, but I think some of it is off the cuff because they were playing off the crowd. They're not a totally scripted show like some of the bands that we know and love. Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
let me ask you,
if you get a chance to see Nova Rex live, whether they're in a bar or whether they're at a festival, I highly recommend going and checking them out.
Oh, definitely.
So what do you want to ask me?
So whenever you did that interview, how did that happen? Did they come out to you, or did they bring you back behind the stage, or how did that work out?
Well, when I talked to Kenny,
right,
he said, basically we're going to show up that afternoon,
Right.
Once
I
we
knew
get
they were
there,
just kind of doing
we
a
have
fly.
a couple of
fly-
interviews that we have to do. Once
Right.
that's over, I'll get in touch with you. And then he was like, and he sent me a message and said, meet me at the stage as soon as the Rat set is over. So
Right.
I went ahead and walked on over during the last song on Rat. And
Right.
then he just took me behind the stage, and
Awesome.
we found a place that was quiet enough that we could kind of hear
Right.
each other. And I still, even the whole time I was recording, I'm like, man, I hope I can hear this, because the music was kind of loud. But
Right.
it turned out pretty decent.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
Kenny,
yeah,
I
those
tell
guys
you,
are
Kenny's
funny.
Kenny
Oh,
is
Kenny
a really
was
nice
funny
guy.
as hell.
I love that dude. He's funny as hell. Like I said, he's got it. Everything's always tongue in cheek. Anytime you say anything to him, he's almost like us. He's just always got
Oh,
something
he is
funny
waiting
to
to
say.
pounce.
Oh, he is. He's.
And
I
of
love
course,
that
the
guy.
very
And like
first
I said,
question that I asked, I got tongue tied, so he pounced right on that. It was
Yeah, he did. He was all over you.
That was
He
funny.
posted. I was like,
Oh,
going, I'm surprised you didn't edit that out because he did. He did. He's fucking on you, like, going, come on, you gonna do this? Whatever. But no, like I said, we are gonna have those guys back on sometime soon because they are good. I like those guys.
Yeah, we'll have to catch them sometime
Yeah.
when they're not on the road.
Yeah. Got that and our album drop. So
Yeah.
all right,
So
what's next?
the be all,
skip
the
season.
end all of Rocklahoma 2017, which I had it in my head that the Offspring was closing Friday night and Def Leppard was closing Sunday night. So when we got there and I was like, man, I had that wrong. Why is Def Leppard closing the first night? Usually the biggest band closes the last night.
Right.
But the Offspring were really good. They played really fast. Of course, a lot of their songs I wasn't familiar with because, they're a punk band and
Yeah.
I didn't really get into a lot of their stuff. I think I captured 5 or 6 30-second clips of them, and it was mainly their radio hits. But those dudes are tight. The bass player, the lead singer / rhythm guitar player, and the lead guitarists are all original members. Now,
Right.
they had another rhythm guitarist standing in the back and then a drummer. But those guys were replacement musicians.
Right.
They weren't originals, but that they were tight. They were good. And fast. Did I say they were fast?
Yeah.
They're a punk band, so like
Kind of like Ramones, and like I say,
they're
just,
better than the Ramones. No, but
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa!
They are better than the
whoa,
Ramones.
whoa,
You just
whoa,
mute
whoa,
your
whoa, whoa.
microphone.
I'm gonna have to because I'm gonna call you a name here in a minute.
But they had 3 or 4 songs that were less than 2 minutes. I mean, and they were done. I was like, wow, that was fast.
Wow.
But
Punk.
the only thing that I didn't like about the Offspring is the guy didn't really talk to the crowd much. He was like, yeah, thanks a lot. And then,
Got another 2 minute
and
song?
then they'd go into a 900-mile-an-hour song. Now,
He's
the
too
lead
busy.
guitarist actually did more talking than the lead singer did. And his funniest shtick of the night was it was a pretty killer guitar solo in one of the songs. And then when he got done, he walked up to the microphone and he's like, man, I nailed that fucking solo, didn't I? He's like,
That's funny.
He's like, I practiced it all week because I heard Warren DeMartini was going to be here, and I didn't want to look stupid in front of him. And then the Dexter Holland, the lead singer, was like, who's that? What? You don't know the guitar player from Rat?
That's funny.
But, that guy, he had the shtick like that.
That's cool.
But, yeah,
That's cool.
Dexter didn't
Sounds
hardly
like
talk
you had
at
a good
all.
weekend though.
So
Sounds like it was a
overall,
good trip.
I was really pleased with it. And I think, really, the VIP experience, everything, you could do
sign
things
me
at
up,
your own
dude.
pace.
Sign me up.
Well,
Next week.
we'll talk about that in February.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll definitely go.
That's when I believe it's in, late February or early March when they usually announce the lineup and say when tickets are
Sign
going on
me
sale
up.
and stuff.
If it's a good lineup, we'll go.
However, since I already did the VIP thing once, I already have dibs on my campsite and
Yeah.
the seats that I had before.
How was the campsite? Nice.
The campsite was great.
Cool. You have a bathroom and stuff?
Well, they have porta potties
Shower?
and stuff. That was
They
the
don't have a
least
shower?
exciting stuff. They have showers. Oh, that's something else I can talk about. The VIP section had showers that they hauled trailers in.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had like 5 showers on each side, and I think they had 2 trailers, so that's 20 showers total. But each shower was an individual shower. You could close the door.
Oh, you didn't have to shower with a bunch of big,
And now, in general admission, it's not a community shower, but it's a big concrete stalls and the shower curtain.
Yeah.
There's not really all that much privacy.
Yeah.
Cool. The least exciting thing, of course, how exciting can a place to poop be? But the porta potties, I mean, they just sucked. So
It's bad. They're bad. They're bad everywhere.
Just drink a lot and don't eat a lot. Just where you're pissing and not shitting.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
Oh, on the plus side, on the other side of the hospitality tent, there was VIP porta potties.
There you go.
They didn't have as big of lines, and they seemed like they were a little cleaner.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that was nice.
Right.
But overall,
fun,
the Rocklahoma was fun. I've already started my Rocklahoma 2018 savings fund because that's what I do. I put $20 in an envelope every week.
So what is it? So you say about like under 500?
Yeah.
To go.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
saving.
that's just for the ticket and the campsite. That doesn't count gas to get there, gas to get home, food on the way there, food on the way home.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's just
But,
that's just
I mean,
normal.
that's just-
But you're gonna do that
Bell.
at home, so it's not a big deal. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So
All right.
Sounds like fun, man.
I'm already looking forward to Rocklahoma 2018, and I hope that maybe the Cult and Diamond Head and Stone Sour and Suicidal and Live will come again. Oh, they did after the Offspring's set was over, they did a 10 or 15 minute tribute to Chris Cornell because Soundgarden was actually supposed to play Saturday night.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they did that. I think the Pretty Reckless, somebody said something about they played a tribute song, but none of the other bands did. None of them. And I was really surprised because at Rock on the Range the week before, almost every band did a tribute song.
Yeah.
You know.
And everybody's thinking about themselves.
Now,
so.
Saturday, Guns N' Roses, wherever they were playing.
Yeah,
they
did.
played.
They played.
They were in Ireland or something, I think, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played a Chris
Overseas.
Cornell song.
Oop, I
or a
got a
Soundgarden
call.
song.
I got a call by.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up while you're
Wrap
on
it
your
up.
call, Dennis. So, while Dennis is out of here,
Yep.
visit us on agesofrock.com. Check us out on Stitcher Radio, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Earpeeler, at Earpeeler on Twitter, all that good stuff. Dennis is, what kind of silly shit can we come up with? Hello?
You
doctor?
can.
Is it
what?
Is it
Hey,
penicillin
no,
take care of that?
no. Yeah. I've had that before. Yeah, I know exactly. No, that cream doesn't work. Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah.
But anyway, seriously, folks, if you're still listening, thanks for hanging, and until next week, let me hit the right button
Peace out,
here.
people.
Peace out, people. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.